Welcome to the Space Dreamers podcast, a Su Madre production.
You ready?
Ready.
Welcome to the Space Dreamers podcast. This is a sort of, kind of, little bit of a weird little bonus episode happening. We did not plan this until we formulated it as a plan. So we did plan it. So basically, we are here to discuss a short story by Arthur C. Clarke, which appeared in the collection Tales of 10 Worlds, which we covered last week. But this story, which is titled The Road to the Sea and was published initially in the year of 1951, in my book, it's about 60 pages long. So I would call that a novella. There are terms that define whether novel, novella, short story, but I've seen it listed elsewhere as novella. It's certainly longer than any other story that we've read for this for any of the collections. It's far and away much longer. I think the longest was like 30.
Yeah.
Like Breaking Stream was like 30 pages. This is like 60. And it's pretty heavy. So Amy and I decided to only cover the other stories last week, and this week we're going to just devote a whole episode, probably a lot shorter, just to The Road to the Sea. And when we decided to do that, we hadn't read the story. So it's not like we planned this because it's some amazing story that I want to talk about. It's just a story that happens to be really long. And we also are going to discuss a film, which we watched last night, or it doesn't matter when we watched it, but we each watched it individually, and we are going to discuss it now. This is one of those rare occasions where we haven't discussed it prior to hitting record, which is always better. But Amy, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What is a rapid gynecological calculation?
What?
Do you know?
No.
Well, it's in this book, and Traeger does some rapid. That's not gynecological because it looks like gynecological.
Let me see it. Are you looking at it right now?
This bottom left arrow.
Gynecological. I don't know what that is.
So when you read it in the book, did you just not think it was weird?
I must not have noticed.
Because I don't go to the gynecologist, so I don't ever read that word. You know what I mean?
That's not the same word, though.
That's not how it's spelled?
No.
Okay. What the fuck is that word?
I don't know.
Let's look it up.
Yeah, let's look it up.
I thought you would be aware of that.
No.
I thought you would have some kind of comment.
How bizarre is that? I definitely skipped right over that.
I'm going to look it up real quick.
Yeah, please do.
I'll spell it for the people at home. Gynaec, logical. That's how you spell gynecological. Gynecologic.
What?
Maybe Clarke was tripping fucking balls when he wrote this story, dude.
Hold on. Where is it in the story? I need to see this. I feel like I would have looked it up if it had been...
Wait, maybe it is. Oh, someone was accompanied by a foal. A fowl? Is that a baby horse?
Yeah.
Okay, then that must be what he's calculating.
Oh, yeah.
Still a weird way to say it.
That's a very weird way to say it. That's right. So that was the part where he was asking for the horse.
Right.
And the guy looked and was like, oh, but they're some of them are pregnant.
Right.
Oh, my God. That's so
Is that
funny.
a gynecological calculation, or is that a gestation calculation?
Yeah, that is
weird. And it's funny, too, because in the last episode that we did about Tales of 10 Worlds, I went into how I love that metaphor and how it was written about talking about access time in reference to a brain.
Yeah.
This kind of feels like the same thing, but it rubs me the wrong way.
I don't
think that's clever. That's weird. But anyway.
That's so funny. It's like maybe I did.
So you did read that word.
Yeah, maybe I did understand it. Like maybe I was just like, oh, because like my brain skipped over it because I knew, I already knew what they were talking about.
And you know what? The I probably would have known if I knew 100% that word. Is it foul? F-O-A-L? Foal? Foul?
F-O-A-L.
Is that a baby horse?
Yes, it's a baby horse.
Okay, see, if I had known that,
right,
I probably would have figured. But I remember reading the story, and when I hit that word foal in my mind, I was like, pretty sure that's a baby horse.
Yeah. That's so funny.
So anyway.
All right. We cleared that up.
Yeah. Let's talk about the movie first, just because I'd rather talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, not instead of the book, but I just don't want to get into the book right now.
No.
You down to talk about the movie first?
Yeah, we can talk about the movie.
Do you not want to?
I don't know. I thought maybe we'd just get this out of the way.
All right, word. No, I'm down.
Yeah.
Give us a plot description.
So I don't even know. I really don't even know if this story is even, if like we're even in need of giving it a plot description. Like, because I think that what's so interesting about this story really is how it being so early, it really seems like an utter exploration of all these other things that Clarke ends up writing about.
Like what?
Well, like when I first started reading it, it reminded me very much of City in the Stars.
Me too.
And there are so many like themes in it that I felt like, you know, it was like, because it's very much world building, you know?
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, I really, and then like fleshing out sort of some like human interactions, I thought was interesting in this, like, you know, to maybe, you know, like basically I just really saw this as like an exercise, you know? Like there are ideas in it. I don't necessarily know if it makes a very compelling story.
Yeah. I want to interject because, you know, I found myself reading the story. My whole day today was planned out.
Yeah.
A bunch of things that like I didn't necessarily want to do, but I have to do.
Right.
And one of them was read the story.
Yeah.
So I had to wake up and I had 3 hours to read the story, and then I had to go do something else, and then I'd come here. So I figured last night going to bed, I was like, those 3 hours are probably going to be rough. Like,
yeah,
unless the story's really good, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So my point is, I didn't struggle reading this book, like this story. It's a really well written.
Yeah.
But I think the point I'm trying to make here is that because it's so well written, and because, like, you know, I like Clarke, I'm disposed to like Clarke.
Mm-hmm.
I found myself, it wasn't difficult to read, but then by the end, I was like, nothing really happened that was
right,
cool or anything crazy. Right. I mean, the idea of the Sigma thing, what's it called?
The Sigma field.
The idea of the Sigma field was very cool when the guy initially explained that. But then, but at the same time, man, it was just like, you had that sense of discovery that you get from City in the Stars.
Yes.
Your main character doesn't know what he's going to meet when he leaves his little town.
Yeah.
And you get that same sense, but then it all leads up to a much smarter person who has all the answers just explaining to him what he's discovering.
Right, which is...
not interesting.
Again, very much like City in the Stars, but in a different way. Obviously, it was more fleshed out as a book.
Yeah, a way more robust way. And even as someone who doesn't love City in the Stars, like that is obviously so much more interesting to me than what goes on in this one.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, one thing that is cool in this novel is just like, okay, another thing, dude, Clarke, maybe I could find the specific quote, but I've read a lot of nonfiction from Clarke. Not a lot, a decent amount.
Yeah.
And he thought cities would go away.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that this book really explores. I think
definitely.
His idea of cities.
Right.
So
yeah,
I thought that was pretty interesting.
I thought that was very cool because essentially it's the same. The setting is, you know, that we're 5,000 years in the future.
Yeah.
And, you know, humankind has been divided. The people who wanted to remain and live on Earth, and the people who wanted to take to the stars and, you know, go off and explore the multitudes of galaxies out there. So it's essentially the same world as City in the Stars. It's a divided humankind. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And so the story essentially follows a young gentleman living in the Earth world who is by no means a space dreamer. Which I thought was interesting.
No.
I mean, he's like the antithesis of a space dreamer. He loves Earth.
Nah, he's a booty dreamer.
Oh.
He's just concerned about his girl.
Yeah, you're right. He just wants to settle down, win his lady, and settle down.
Yeah, win in a fair fight too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, those Clarke characters, they never
Absolutely.
get angry at each other.
No, definitely not.
Even when in competition for a mate.
Yeah, very chivalrous. Yeah, he's just gonna go wow her with art.
I love how those two are like friends.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you can have her for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you try for an hour.
Yeah. And again it's like that exploration of, utopia. It's like it's almost like like I felt like this was like if no one had built the city in the City in the Stars, this was just if it was just a bunch of communities like Lice.
Yeah.
Like all living outside, doing their thing, because it's very primitive. It's very like,
yeah, dude,
we all love the land, and
it's primitive, but I mean, I'm down to just skip around. What do you think about the guy, like the information keeper guy?
Yeah, that guy was interesting. It's like, weird because it's like it was interesting because he had a device that stored all of the information.
Yeah.
Which I kept thinking like, well, that's what we got, the internet.
Yeah, but what I love
He's
about
like
it is that
decipherer.
Right, but that's what I like about it. It's almost as if a human seeking knowledge, it's almost like you shouldn't be given raw knowledge.
Right.
You need like a filter. You need like a human teacher. So it's almost like someone planned out like you can't just give information to people. People need teachers, but at the same time it's inefficient to actually teach teachers to teach. You know, I feel like that person who gives the information is like he's almost like it's like he's plugged in, and then he like comes to life and like gives information.
Right.
And I like how he even says eventually the information will fade from that person.
Yeah.
So he's not this genius walking around.
Yes, exactly.
It's
I love
very
that.
cool.
Yeah. So he had like that mechanism, and he just like he went to it and like fed it. Like he looked up what he needed. He like absorbed it all. And then, they say that afterwards in a little while, it'll just fade away. But it's almost like he's almost like a storyteller because he doesn't just give the facts. He gives the story of history.
I feel like, and that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
I can't say it very eloquently, but it's almost like it's better to be taught in that way.
Exactly.
But then at the same time, I don't know, like in real life, if it like what is better, like raw knowledge or someone filtering it through themselves. I don't know.
I mean, I think it's one of those things where it's like, I mean, it's why we have. I guess it's why we have teachers because like they, like you have when you go to school, you have a textbook, but you're not just you're reading the textbook, but you're not just reading the textbook. You're then having someone explain it to you and tell it to you, hopefully in a way that you can understand it and absorb.
Yeah.
But I mean, then again, there are plenty of people learn in plenty of different ways. So
especially
I think it's just
these days.
Yeah, I think it's just one way.
Yeah.
But I think that's a very cool concept that you need someone there as like that filter, that decipher.
Yeah, and it's also even a real good teacher knows that certain kids learn certain ways.
Right.
So it's almost as if like certain people just it's like you need that whatever touch you need. I think this dude can provide it for you.
Exactly.
I would guess.
Yeah, definitely. I thought that was very cool.
Yeah.
I mean, because a lot of the other stuff, like as far as like the future world building, is like really so similar. Like the on-demand food.
Wait, doesn't he? There was something that reminded me so much of City in the Stars. Like, how does he walk? Isn't there like a train or something?
A train?
Or like a path? I feel like there's something similar to the way he saw the lights that went to Liss. And I feel like there was something similar in this one. Like, I know he walks, right?
Yeah, he just walks. He has a map. They gave him a map.
Okay. Dude,
someone gave him a map.
This one's weird because, like, it's literally 20 miles away from where he lives.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, the Liss is impenetrable. You can't get there unless you take the train.
Yeah, or a spaceship because it's over like miles of
but no one has
beds.
A spaceship. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I'm just saying, like you literally can't get there unless you discover this thing. Whereas in this one, if you just walked, you would find this thing.
And he also goes through that whole thing how he's not authorized to use a flyer. A flyer could get him there in 10 minutes.
Oh yeah,
and that's why he has to keep it a secret because he doesn't want anyone.
I mean, he's kind of a space dreamer.
No, he's not at all.
I guess no, you're right. Well,
he's not.
The fact that he says the fact that in the face of no, you can't do this the easy way and fly
Yeah.
there, and he does it anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
there's something there.
Well, he's a classic adventurer.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, he takes a horse. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
it's a boy and his horse going on a little camping trip.
Yeah. Speaking of horses, we'll get to that later.
What?
Unless I was watching a different movie.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So I think that the world that's created, like one of the things we talked about when we both first started reading it, was that it's an interesting like world on Earth that he creates. The idea that it like the Earth stuff starts out with the community that Brant, who's the main character, lives in. They're forced to uproot and go live somewhere else because that's the way that society has evolved to avoid conflict, is to not allow anyone to settle anywhere for too long, to develop ties to the land, any traditions,
Yeah, that part was
things like that.
interesting.
It was very interesting. And actually, I feel like that is a really interesting theme that I haven't seen in any of the other stories that we've read. It's kind of
Right.
interesting. Yeah, there were definitely a few things in this in the book that like really were
I'm gonna just
beautiful writing.
Just in case, like you're super confused and you're listening to this. I'm gonna give you a really brief plot description.
Yeah.
Like just in terms of like what actually happens. The main character is involved in a love triangle. There's him and another guy and a girl, and they both are trying to win the girl's heart.
Yes.
And the guy gives her a necklace.
Yeah, a portable music player.
Yeah. So that she gets that from one of the guys, and so the other guy is like, okay, I'm gonna go to this other place, this city that apparently has technology that's lost.
Yeah, it's
but
been
like,
abandoned.
Right,
It's
but
an old city.
But it's more advanced than we have here.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna bring back something that's
really cool.
Yeah, like it's gonna blow away
Exactly.
anything that anyone in this village could give to this girl.
Yes.
Which, interestingly enough, is the plot to Stardust.
Really?
Did you see the movie or read the book?
I think I did both.
Yeah.
I don't
Great
really
book, great
remember.
movie.
Yeah.
But the point is, the main character is in competition with a way better looking, way cooler, like guy, suitor, going after this super sexy blonde lady.
Yeah.
And so he showers her with gifts, and then he sees a shooting star, and he says, I'm going to go get that shooting star and bring it back to you.
That's right.
That's what the whole book's about.
You're right. I remember this now. Yeah.
So it's like the same thing.
Right,
It's like,
yeah.
I'm going to go off into this
Yeah.
mysterious land
Yeah.
and come back with something that you can't get here.
Yeah, because like it's the same thing. It's like John's described as like, bigger, taller,
Yeah.
more handsome.
He's a better suitor.
Yeah, he's just like he's more athletic, he's like physically inclined, whereas our the main character Brant's kind of like like a little bit of a weirdo.
Yeah.
And they even say it's even said that he's very interested in arts, like he's kind of dabbles in everything, but he's not really great at anything.
Oh, yeah, he's a painter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, and that's what he's going to bring back is the painting.
Well, yeah, that's what ends
Dude,
up
that
happening.
whole Helen of Troy thing, like, what does that have to do with this story? I was so weirded out. I was like, I don't care about Helen of Troy.
Well, I think I'm pretty sure if we did our research, we could figure out exactly where Shasta is supposed to be. And it's probably, I'm thinking it's probably like in Egypt. It's probably.
Yeah, I actually
Really?
I was searching for 2 seconds 5
Yeah.
minutes ago, and someone said it's probably in the Nile.
Yeah, because they talk about the road, like the road that he walks on, because he finds after he gets out of like the forest that he's living in, he finds a road and he follows the road, and Clarke describes like what it was. So it's like we should like, and it's like a Roman thing.
It says the centurions, the paladins, the armored Livicians, even the desert, all were gone, but the road remained. Of all man's creations, the most enduring. For ages enough, it had borne his burdens, and now along the whole 1,000 miles, it carried no more traffic than one boy and a horse.
Yeah.
So is that the Nile dried up or something?
No, I think it's a road built
Okay.
by like the Romans or something.
Whenever I'm
I
reading a
don't know.
sci-fi story, dude, and like
Yeah.
the person is like talks about something in the past that is real in my past, I'm
Yeah.
like, don't care.
Well, I think like for me, coming from like an art background, I thought the whole idea of him coming across that mural must have been amazing for him.
Yeah.
Like, I loved reading about that part. And so I think that it's just like a way to connect this story with, you know, I mean, it could have been a mural of something made up, but
right.
why not have an ancient connection?
So,
because I think all of this stuff is supposed to be ancient.
Yeah. The only, for me, the reason I got a little, it's because it's similar to anything that gets brought up about the Bible, dude. I feel like I'm supposed to know.
Wait.
So then when he starts telling the story like from left to right, I'm like, I probably should be able to fill in these gaps, but I can't. Okay,
so I know the story of Helen of Troy because I was obsessed with Greek mythology when I was younger.
Okay.
So, and also remember he describes that other part. It's the Trojan War. She's the one that caused the Trojan War, the whole Trojan horse.
Face that was launched 1,000 ships. Right?
Exactly. She's supposed to be like the most beautiful woman in history or whatever. Even though I'm pretty sure they said that about Cleopatra too. So I don't know. But she's just Helen of Troy is just like a person that's been depicted in a lot of art.
Yeah.
But I think the reason why that's what this is because that's essentially what's going on in his own life. He has gone out on this great adventure because of this beautiful woman.
Right.
So I think that's
the
connection.
Part of me thinks, like, because I just said that, the face that launched 1,000 ships, like, did they talk about why they initially left Earth? Like, did it have something to do with a woman? Like, is there some kind of connecting metaphor there?
No, I don't think
no?
so.
Because that would be dope, an intergalactic Trojan War, dude.
That would be kind of neat.
Right?
Although one could wonder if that's what is going on here, because at the end they're saying, hey, you need to come with us because, because the, Earth might be.
Yeah.
But like, what if it's like
no
a Trojan?
Guarantees.
Yeah, but what if it's like a Trojan War situation? They just take them all, off into the space because off into space because they need to colonize their other planets or something.
Yeah,
I don't know, so maybe.
And so, yeah, so then our little buddy, John, what? No, Blake. Brant. Our buddy Raisin Bran, he heads off on his horse, Sunbeam.
Yep.
To discover the city, to gather some kind of technological thing that you can't get in his own city to impress his girlfriend.
Yes.
And the journey's kind of interesting, I guess. There's some interesting descriptions of walking on a horse over hills. I guess if you're into that, you'll be into that part of the story.
Yep, it's very low tech.
Yeah, and then he gets to the city, and as we said before, there's just a lot of descriptions of and what I would argue is Clarke's opinion on cities and the direction that they are headed.
Yeah, although I think what's really interesting is that Clarke's idea of cities is actually kind of what happened with this pandemic, because there was remember it was like when the pandemic first started and everyone was like homebound and they were like, this is ridiculous. We got to get out of this city because we have no space.
Right.
We're going to go to the suburbs. We're going to get a bigger house. And we're going to, because we need to spread out because now mom and dad are working from home. Kids are being schooled from home. And so it's actually kind of interesting because it's like kind of in one sense, it's like where we're headed. Like we don't need cities as much as we used to because we have the ability to be connected no matter where you are.
Yeah. Everything that happened because of COVID is merely a sped up version of what was happening anyway.
Exactly.
It's all in pretty much every single industry.
Yeah.
Especially what I know the most, the restaurant industry.
Right.
It's like we were heading there anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
but it is interesting because I think that there may be some merit there.
And I think the idea is that Shastar is like the last city, right?
Yeah, it's like the last great city.
And it's devoted to art.
Yes.
And I think that is why it lasted so long. It's because it was like people there's like a culture around that idea that like
Definitely.
I want to be in the art place.
Yeah.
Like I'm not interested in whatever you're doing.
Yeah, and it was like a beautiful city. Like, remember
Right.
how when he finally gets there and he can't figure out why there's no living quarters, and then he realizes that they're underground,
Right.
which is also a really cool concept because the way he describes it, he's like, oh yeah, because if you live underground, then above ground can be like specifically tailored for what your vision is
Right.
for the place that you live. And I'm like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Oh, and the whole beginning too. Isn't the beginning? It's two brothers, and one of them designed the city, right?
Yeah, I think
One
so.
of them's like an architect.
Yeah.
And there's talk in the beginning that the city itself is supposed to be an artwork.
Right.
So
it's
the
very
whole-
purposeful.
yeah, the whole story is about like cities and art.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And then he discovers, we already talked about it, but he discovers a mural, and he's an artist, and he discovers the mural, Helen of Troy, and he just, there's a lot
Just,
about that.
Fascinated by it.
Yeah, and then he decides that his gift to his girl is going to be, he's going to paint her, but the way Helen looks, kind of.
Well, what he's going to do is copy the painting. Since he can't bring the mural with him, he's going to copy it as best he can. And he can't do the whole thing because the whole thing's huge. So he picks, obviously, the most compelling part, which is the woman.
Right.
And I don't think he intends to make it look like her. But I think because then when he meets
Some dude calls him out on it, right?
Yes, exactly. And he's like, you have some potential here because, any fool could have copied it. He's like, but you put yourself into it.
Right.
Because Helen ends up not looking like the mural, but a little bit like his lady.
Girl. Yeah. And then he meets some visitors. How do they even show up? I don't even remember. He's just behind him. Remember?
Yeah, he's like, I felt like someone else was in the room.
Yeah. And then he turns around, there's like a guy there.
Yeah.
And there's 3 guys there.
Yeah.
Tresco or something his name is.
Yeah. They have some funky names.
Yeah, they all sound like a cross country trucking company or some shit. Tresco. You see that on the side of an 18-wheeler. What's it? So and those guys tell them, kind of gives them the history of why the cities were abandoned and kind of Earth was abandoned by some people, right?
Yeah, he goes
explains
into some detail about, why everyone took off and
yeah, and so the idea is that there's this thing called the Sigma field, which was created by humans in their attempt to bridge the gap between the stars.
yes.
And the Sigma field turned into this random force that was like deleting suns.
Yeah, they couldn't control it.
Yeah. And I don't know why. Did they say why they know that, like, in a few years we'll know if it's safe to come back or not? Do they know that the Sigma field has a limited amount of energy? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Like, how would you even, if it's chaos and random, how would you even know where it was going? And they're like,
well, they don't know. No, they don't know where it's going. That's why they take. They're like Earth.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They say
they're
it might get deleted.
Yeah,
so we're
and they're
taking
like,
you for just safety until it's over.
Right. Yeah.
So they show up.
Yeah, they're like, it could happen today or in 10 years.
Yeah,
we
you
don't
said
know.
that.
Yeah.
But the idea is that they're basically there to shuttle people off Earth.
Yeah.
So that this devastating force, if it does happen to delete our solar system, then humans will have survived.
Right.
But if it's randomness, allows it to miss our solar system, then they'll just bring us back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a cool concept.
Yeah.
But
it's interesting.
Yeah, but it's like at the very end of the story after you've learned all this crap about Brant and so yeah, I mean, and then we talked about the ending and how we don't really understand it.
Yeah, I really don't.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah. I don't even know. Like, I don't even, that's what I was saying. Like,
well,
I don't
he decides that, the very end of the thing, the final sentiment is that he has to make a choice, right?
Right,
Same
whether
way,
he wants to stay or go with them.
Right, and it's interesting too because that's what he keeps saying about his girlfriend.
Oh,
She's
yeah,
like,
right.
eventually, I'm just going to have to make a choice.
Yeah, you're right, because she has to make it, and he knows she has to make a choice, and she knows she has to make a choice,
right.
but yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he does go home. He's like, he doesn't want to go with them. But I think the idea is that he, like you just said, he will eventually have to make a choice. Like, it's going to become, because he says, I remember, because he says that the same ship that brought those guys that he met, those ships are all over the world.
Oh, yeah.
So he's like, he knew what was happening right there was also happening everywhere else. So it was going to be a choice for everyone.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you like I feel like it's pretty obvious, the iPod thing. Remember?
Yes.
Wherever I go now, I can have music with me. John
Yes.
says there are so many thousands of hours of it stored up that I'll never know when it repeats itself. Isn't it clever?
That's so wild. That's literally, I mean, I know obviously it's, cassette players. It's even a boombox. I mean,
Right.
even back in the day when you had a giant boombox that you carried on your shoulder, I mean, even that is personal portable music.
Right. But I like the sentiment that like
Yeah.
you'll never run out.
Yeah, which is, I mean, really, it's not a cassette. It's not a CD. That is an iPod.
Yeah, pretty much. And then what else? I have... Well, I'll just read this quote because I marked it. We already talked about it. The knowledge would remain in his possession for a few hours only, long enough for his purpose, and would then fade away. Simon had no desire to clutter up his well-organized mind with irrelevancies, and to him the whole story of the rise and fall of the great cities was a historical digression of no particular importance. It was an interesting, if a regrettable, episode, and it belonged to a past that had irretrievably vanished. I kind of marked the end of what I kind of wanted to mark there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the idea that we were talking about earlier,
Right.
that he's able to like fill himself up with information, tell it to whoever's curious, and then it fades from his consciousness.
Yeah.
It's just cool. I like this line, but I don't know. I feel like I didn't really get why it applied to Brant when it says, "There's nothing like making a virtue out of necessity." Like, I love that line.
Yes.
But
yeah.
what is the necessity?
What's it? What is the context of that?
But that was exactly what Brant intended to do, as during the next few days he was careful to point out to almost everyone in the village a thing wasn't worth doing unless one did it the hard way.
Oh, well, he's talking about
Going to the city?
Yeah, but remember that was when he was talking about how he had to make it seem like a big deal, like, and that he was super cool for wanting to like go and do it the hard way, because remember he didn't want anyone to hop on a flyer and fly there.
Oh, yes.
So he's like faking everyone out by saying
I
that.
see. Yes.
I marked a part that I really liked where Trescon was talking to him. Trescon's one of the guys that he meets from the spaceship that's like, you got to get off Earth. Where it goes, he says, "You have to get away from Earth, Brant. No man who has ever lived all his life on the surface of a planet has ever seen the stars, only their feeble ghosts." Like,
Yup.
wow. And then can you imagine what it means to hang in space amid one of the great multiple systems with colored suns blazing all around you? I've done that, and I've seen stars floating in rings of crimson fire, like your planet Saturn, but 1,000 times greater. And can you imagine night on a world near the heart of the galaxy where the whole sky is luminous with star mist that has not yet given birth to suns? Your Milky Way is only a scattered handful of third-rate suns. Wait until you see the central nebula.
Yeah, I love that third-rate suns.
Yeah.
It's like, dude,
Yeah.
your little corner of the universe ain't shit.
But I just love it. Like, you have to get away from Earth.
Yeah.
It's just wild. Like,
it's about perspective, dude, because
Yeah.
like we as people on, like, okay, there's an argument to be made that you should leave your own country and experience other cultures, but
right.
there's also an argument to be made that that's
Yeah.
not necessary for like a normal fulfilling life, I guess.
right.
But there's no one's going to argue that you should stay in your house your whole entire life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's like, so you would say the same thing to that person. You would say, you need to leave the house.
Yeah.
To the person who's never left the house, you'd be like, You're like, I don't think I need to. Same thing with when an alien comes to you and says you need to leave Earth. We as Earthlings are going to be like, I don't know about that, dude. We're doing all right here as we are.
Yeah.
8 billion of us look around. So, it's just like, once you leave Earth, I'm sure it's like, dude, you should probably leave Earth.
Yeah.
Like I didn't get on an airplane until I was 18, so I was fucking New England bound for 18 years of my life. You know what I mean? And like, I didn't think I needed to leave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I left, and
you're like, yeah, you got to leave.
There's more shit to see than New Hampshire.
It's totally the same thing I say to people. I'm like, it was so cool to have like lived in New England my whole life, and then just zip on down to Florida, live there for a while.
Yeah.
But it's like, but also for people who didn't do that, they've experienced something that I never will, which is being rooted somewhere, and knowing that place to its fullest.
Yeah.
It's definitely, it's interesting.
Yeah. I marked that part too. I have different colored marks. So I have marks for like shit to talk about, and then
nice.
I have my separate marks for like quotes
you
for
are so
Instagram.
Organized.
Yeah.
I love it.
So that was one of my purple quotes. That was one of my quotes not to discuss to share on like Instagram. So that's like some epic shit. I tagged another one that I'm not entirely sure why, so I'll just read the paragraph. It's short. The things that people want and the things that are good for them are very different. I wish you luck with your painting. I don't know whether to wish you luck in your other endeavor. Great art and domestic bliss are mutually incompatible. Sooner or later, you'll have to make your choice. And I think I know what Clarke chose.
Yeah.
Spouseless, childless. You know what I mean?
He chose his art.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting. There are actually like a bunch of like good little tidbits. Like there's another good line that says, "It was good to be alive. It was better to be young. It was best of all to be in love." Yeah,
that was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I felt like a personal attack.
Yeah, it was like, that's what's so interesting about what is so interesting about this story is not necessarily the story itself, but all the little things that are explored in it.
Yeah.
And to think about, again, how, early it was written before a lot of these other great novels.
Right.
And it's like really is like an exercise.
Yeah. I was about to say maybe it became like City in the Stars, but no, because Against the Fall of Night came out with like 47 or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just interesting. It's definitely I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't be like, this is a great story. Like it's not, it's incredibly well written. It's very well like fleshed out. Like I really love it as its own thing.
Yeah.
But I think it's most interesting to me as like a look into the beginning of his career.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like pretty much dead center neutral on this story with a teeny tiny bit of leaning towards the better side.
Yeah.
Because I think there have been times where I've read Clarke and been neutral on it and been like, because of how neutral I am, I didn't need that.
Right.
Whereas this one is a little, there's something to it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it was good.
Yeah.
Little story, and I'm glad that we saved it because the Tales of 10 Worlds episode is like over 2 hours. So this would have just,
Yeah, it just would have. Yeah, definitely.
And we could have skipped over it too, like we do with some stories, but because it was so long, I figured why not?
Yeah, I mean, we figured there had to be something to it if it was that well thought out to be, 30 to 60 pages, whatever. Yeah.
All right. You want to talk about the movie?
Heck yeah.
Okay, so
this is a fresh one. We watched it last night, and wasn't it available last night?
Yeah. No, because remember I texted you like months ago when I found out about this movie, and I was like, we're gonna have to cover this.
Right.
And it's so funny. You texted me last night.
Yeah.
Amy and I both pretty much saved the movies till the Friday night.
Yeah.
We were usually record on Saturdays, so you texted me. I was playing video games. I hadn't gotten to the movie yet.
Yeah.
You texted me like if you tried to watch what we were gonna watch on Amazon. Dude, there must be something going on. I don't understand that Amazon app.
I don't either.
Like, it's so unclear to me whether things are free or not. Like, I always click on it, and then I'm like, oh, you have to rent this? Or I'll click on it, and I'm like, this is free?
Yeah, or even in this case, I clicked on it, and I'm like, why is this unavailable? Like,
it said unavailable?
It literally said, this is unavailable.
Dude, okay, also...
But why is it up there if it's unavailable?
I don't know, man. But, dude, what about The Abyss? You see that it's on Amazon?
Yeah, what?
But it's full screen and it looks like shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. It's full
weird.
screen. It's so weird.
That's really weird.
Like, I tried to watch it, but I was
Really?
like, I
And you're
don't.
like, no.
It's not that I'm against full screen, but I
Right,
swear to
but-
God, the quality was like not what it should be.
It was like some kind of weird bootleg.
That's what I'm saying.
Bizarre.
Yeah, so we watched Army of the Dead, which, because I saw that it was available that day. So anyway, you texted me, I can't get the Oat Studio movie, and I was like, Army of the Dead.
Yeah.
Like, just watch it. It came out today. It's perfect.
Nice. Yeah.
So what did you think about that movie?
I thoroughly enjoyed every bit of me watching it. It got like a little sappy at the end, but you know, there were a couple scenes that I thought like could have just been cut in half. But overall, I really enjoyed watching it. However, at the end of it, I did think to myself, you know, what would the movie have been like if it had been the opening credits?
What do you mean? Oh, you mean the initial?
Yes.
Oh, 100 times better.
Yeah.
But we've seen that before.
Exactly. That's
but,
exactly
but
what
dude,
I thought.
also
Yeah.
on the other hand, man, like, you've seen Zombieland, right?
Yes.
Do you remember the opening credits of Zombieland?
I don't know.
Well, they're that, but
Yeah.
6,000 million times cooler and better.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought.
And it's just like, why, dude?
Yeah, I know.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
When I see shit like that, although I love the font,
Yes.
how it was like, you know,
Yes.
the way it's spaced,
Yeah,
like
it
the
was
way
good.
a book is
Yeah, it was
on
very
the
cool.
screen.
Yeah.
It was dope.
Yeah.
So my opinion of that movie, and I probably have stronger opinions about like Zack Snyder particularly and zombie movies. It's just, this is what I wish. No one cares what I think, but what I want to tell,
I care.
what I want to tell Zack Snyder,
Yeah.
is like, Zach, my man,
Yeah.
I've been with you since day one. I saw Dawn of the Dead, your first movie. I saw it in the theater, bro. Okay? Just because your movie is 2.5 hours long does not mean that it is an epic. It's too fucking long. I'm not fucking interested in your fucking 45 minutes until they get into Vegas.
Yeah.
45 minutes of getting a team together.
Yeah.
Dude, that should be 10 minutes out of your movie.
Yeah.
Okay? The whole time they're in Vegas, I'm there. I'm with it. That fucking lady zombie was so fucking cool. But Dave Bautista, literally able to show one emotion on a goddamn screen, getting a team together. Good Lord, sir. Fast forward. The best scene of the get-together scene, I'm sure you agree. Dude, I laughed so hard when she's like, when he's like, you don't want to hear about it? She just goes, probably has something to do with helicopters, right? And she's just surrounded
She's
by
like,
helicopters.
where do I sign?
Yeah, dude, she's fucking surrounded by helicopters. She's wearing like a helicopter pilot
Yep.
outfit. She's like, am I flying a helicopter?
Yep.
So good, dude.
We were so excited when you were like, you know, hey, check on Netflix just to make sure I'm right. So we checked it and we look, and especially Mallory was like, oh my God, Tig Notaro.
Yeah.
Like, we just love her.
Dude,
And
I
she's
feel like
so funny.
I know, and I feel like comedians like that shouldn't be given like leading roles. Like
Yeah.
they should always be that character.
Yes.
Because then you cut to it and you're like,
Yes.
it's just like,
She had the best lines in the entire movie.
oh, 100%.
Like when she first saw the helicopter on the top of the building, and she was like, spent more on the model.
Yeah. I do. I remember that. Yeah. She was the best part. Like,
Yeah.
and like, even the opening, dude, like the opening was good.
Yeah.
But it was like so long, dude. This is the thing.
know,
It's
I
like,
know.
dude, it's like everyone's down with an epic,
Yeah.
but it has to be like the way it's made has
Yeah.
to be different. It has to be, you have to feel like you're watching something special.
Right.
Like when it, even like something as cheesy as Titanic, like
Yeah.
it's a fucking epic. It is properly epic. And it's like not that much longer than the goddamn zombie movie we watched.
Right. Yeah. No, you definitely saying that like make a very good point
And
in
dude,
my opinion.
And that's
yeah.
Zack Snyder's problem, dude. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not like, yeah, fuck the big studios. So,
Right.
so it's good. Yeah, it's great that Zack Snyder got the power through the internet and fan favorite and all that shit to be able to make his Snyder cut of Justice League. But no one fucking wants to watch a 4-hour superhero movie, dude.
Yeah.
Unless they do. I don't know. But my goodness. If you're going to make a fucking epic, you need good actors, too. Yeah. Anyway. Like, not funny. Henry Cavill.
Well, it's funny. It's like, it's kind of one of those things. It's either, it's either figure it out in an hour and a half or turn it into a fucking series.
Yeah.
Like, because I can see if they had turned, this movie was somewhere in between. It's like, I could see this as an incredibly good series as long as they didn't make it last too many seasons.
Yeah. I mean, you could, like, the first couple episodes would be like,
right.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
It just sounds...
Right. It's just, but yeah, it's like packing too much mundane stuff into an epic length.
And dude,
feature.
It's like it isn't bad.
No.
It's just still going.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, God damn. And then like when like his oh my God, when his daughter was like, I'm coming in, like, Mom, I'm coming with you. It's just like, oh my God. Yeah. And of course he's going to say no, but do you really think he's going to stick with the no?
Right.
No, because he's a fucking character. It's just like, oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
But dude, one thing I did like about that movie, and I'll just give, okay, as a male who's into comic books and video games and all that shit.
Yeah.
Born in the year 1990.
Yeah.
Thus 17 in 2007. Thus the film 300 comes out in the year 2007. I'm fucking 17.
Yeah.
Dude, Zack Snyder gets a pass for life from me. You couldn't have made a more perfect movie for 17-year-old Jared.
Yeah.
Than 300. Still probably his best movie.
I love that movie.
Me too.
I remember, like, still the feeling of watching that movie and just being floored.
And you could take that movie, everything about that movie, and just make it as long or longer than Army of the Dead.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm not saying it should be that long, but you would be like, oh, I get it. I'm watching something new and interesting.
Yes.
And let's see it get explored.
Right.
But zombies in Vegas, no.
Yeah, no.
I mean, unless, I don't know, dude. It's weird because, like, I keep saying that it's not bad. It's just too long.
Yeah, and I also feel like you could have had the length had you focused more on other aspects than the boring human
like
stuff.
if you fleshed out the zombie hierarchy.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
And like, dude, okay, the other thing I want to say about Zack Snyder is like, or just about this movie, it's really cool, I think, when you take like a classic cliche but you make it cool, like you commit to it 100%.
Yeah,
like it's just so like army dudes being present for the outbreak of a virus. It's just so classic.
Yeah.
It's like, have you ever read or seen The Stand?
No.
Well, like I read the book, and like I'll just never forget the opening scene is how the virus gets out, and it's like comes from an army base, and it's just like,
yeah.
And so that when that opening scene, it's like, it's just weird. It's one of those things where, like, in my mind, it's like, I've seen this a million times, but like they're committing 100% to it. And it's just like a bunch of dumbass army dudes who are not prepared at all.
Oh yeah, no.
And that scene benefited so much from like the fact that you know that you're watching a zombie movie.
Definitely.
Because like, I forget what. Because I just like how they're confused about what the superiors are saying.
Right.
Because they clearly don't know what they're transporting. You know what I mean?
Oh right.
I feel like
right,
the superiors say something along the lines of like, you need to get the fuck away from that thing.
Oh yeah.
Like, don't try to shoot it.
Yeah, no, just
and
run.
They're so
yeah.
But and then obviously like the final shot of them overlooking Vegas.
Yeah.
Was awesome.
Yes.
And also the way the male came. Actually, this is a problem that we should get into because I was confused.
What?
The first time the girl zombie shows up, she's with a guy.
Yeah.
He's not the king, right?
No.
They just look exactly the same and have the same fucking haircut and the same pants and the same shirtless.
I mean, I could tell the difference.
I couldn't. So, because when one of them got killed and then he gets killed at one scene and then I was like, whoa, they killed the fucking king. And then and I was like, oh, well, that's just someone wearing the same fucking outfit.
No, but the king has the cape thing around his... Oh, okay. That was how you told him from other people.
Anyway, I loved the way that first guy stood. Okay. It's the way you draw zombies / vampires in comic books. He stands.
Oh,
He's ripped and he puts his head down so that
Yes.
the hair kind of covers his face,
Yep.
and the hand does this.
Yeah.
And like it's
Yes.
cheesy, but if you commit and you're looking, it's like that looks so. It's like a moving big budget comic book, and I love it.
Even the way like the queen moved,
Oh,
like
dude.
the way the movement was like it was really cool.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where zombies. I mean, we all know it's been done a million times.
Right.
So it's like if you do the original thing,
Yep.
then you're just doing something over and over again.
Right.
But if you stray too far somewhere else, then it's not a zombie, it's something else.
Yeah.
So if you're able to find that sweet spot where it's like you create something new, but you're still like, that's a zombie, 100%, totally awesome. And that's what the zombie genre needs now, dude. Like, how dare fucking Zack Snyder make a zombie movie in 2021, dude? Zombies are so 10 years ago.
I know.
But it's like, all right, I'm down with this lady. I even love how I love okay, this is why I love Unbreakable. So Unbreakable's so dope because it's a comic book, you know, he's a superhero. But the things that are superhero-esque are natural and make sense.
Oh, right.
His outfit, his cape is a poncho.
Right.
And it says security.
Yeah.
Because he's a security guard
Yeah.
who works in the rain sometimes. But he's also a fucking superhero who's afraid of the rain.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. And that's his super outfit. The girl is wearing Las Vegas dancer person outfit.
Yes.
But when it's all dirty and it's on a zombie and you say that she's a queen, dude, it works.
Oh, totally.
Like if you just like that outfit on its own,
Right.
not interested. But when it's on the zombie, because I just love how it's like, I just think that zombie, she would be the queen no matter what she was wearing. It doesn't matter what she's wearing. But it makes sense that she's a Las Vegas dancer, so she'd be dressed up like a ridiculous zombie queen.
Yes.
I'm getting excited. Spitting on my mic. Anyway, having said all that, I didn't finish the movie.
What?
I got bored.
Oh my god.
It's too long. What?
Where did you stop?
When I saw a goddamn zombie riding a horse, that's when I stopped.
Oh.
Okay, listen to me.
Wait, the
Amy,
first time you rode the horse or the other times?
it was a shot from far away, and I saw a zombie on a horse, and I was like...
That was the king riding the horse.
I go, monkeys on horses? Yes. Zombies on horses?
No.
But that's not the... I didn't turn the movie off because I saw a zombie on a horse.
Yeah.
I almost turned it off. I'm throwing praise on this movie just because, like, you know, I'm usually negative about shit, and, like, it's whatever. It's like, it's cool, you know? It's like, what did you expect?
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a very good movie.
Yeah.
And I almost turned it off in the part where, and then the scene right after was really cool. That's why I kept going until the horse.
Yeah.
I almost turned it off in the part when they discovered them hibernating.
Yeah, what? I liked that part.
I don't know. I was just bored.
That was an interesting
No. Okay.
addition.
No. Hibernating zombies is cool. What's not cool is
Yeah.
the girl in last
Yeah.
with the guy who's clearly gonna fuck everyone over.
That guy was awful.
Telling the girl to go in a different direction is just like, been there, done that,
Awful.
don't care, knew you were bad, don't
Yep.
care.
Yep.
Like, that girl just proved herself to be a fucking badass, and then, like, you're just going to get rid of her out of the movie?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
But then, her in the zombies was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
How she would... Dude, like, I was like, as soon as one of the zombies woke up, I was like, I've seen this scene a million times. She's going to wake up the zombies, and they're all going to eat her. Yeah. But then it's just like... knife to the temple, and then it's slowly put the zombie down. And then it's like, and you're like, oh shit, she might get out of this. And then it's like another knife to the temple, dude. And it's like, oh, she might get out of this. And then she puts to the top of that one's head, and I'm like, she's still going, dude. So that, like, I don't know, man. I was into it for that. That was really cool.
Yeah, and then that kept going even further, and then when she comes flying out of the window, breaks the glass, and comes flying out of the window, I was like,
and then it's like zombie movie shootout.
Yes.
And I love the tiger.
Yes.
As soon as I saw the tiger, I was like, I'm not down with monsters. But then I was like, oh, it's Vegas, and that's a tiger.
Yeah.
Like, that makes sense. I love it. And you know who's a fucking badass in that movie?
Who?
The blonde girl.
Yeah.
She was my favorite character.
Yeah.
At first, I didn't like her.
Yeah.
But then as it goes, it's like, dude, it's almost like the lesson with that character is, or like the sense I got from her was, like, no matter what your motivations or your intentions are, like whether you're evil, whether you're here for money, it doesn't matter what you're here for. Like, you got to play by the rules.
Definitely.
And I just felt like everything that character did, like made sense.
Made sense, definitely.
Whereas most of the other characters, it was either just cookie cutter movie shit, or they're just being dumb and they're in a horror movie.
Wait, so did you get to the whole safe part? Did you see them get into the safe? Did you not get that part?
Yeah, dude. And then the part with the safe, like, it just started talking about shit that I don't care about, dude. Like, what do you think? The fucking you really think this guy's going to send you in to this zombie place to get his money, and he's just going to give you the money?
Right.
Like, you're blind or you're dumb if you don't think you're going to get fucked over.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
well, obviously, like, it's a movie, so they're in a movie. They don't know they're in a movie. I fucking know that they're in a movie, and the movie was made for me. So, when they started talking about how, oh my God, I can't believe this guy put the lethal machine guns in the hallway to the safe, I was like, why can't you believe that? And A, why can't you believe that? And B, who cares?
Yeah.
Because I don't. And it's like, dude, you're fucking surrounded by zombies and you're about to make millions of fucking dollars. Like, who cares that he has guns in his safe?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's not why I turned it off, but it just at that point in the movie, it was just one thing after another that I just didn't care about. And, like, I turned it off. What happened at the end?
They rescue the girl that they were looking for.
Oh God, I forgot that that even happened.
Yeah, and it's like a whole crazy, like, insane shootout scene, one after another, after another, after another, trying to get out of that building. There were some cool moments throughout that, definitely. The tiger. I
saw the tiger eat the guy.
Yeah, okay.
I saw that head.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then,
rough.
you were, yeah.
So towards the end, I was like walking around and I kept it on.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah.
But yeah, then they go and they, the daughter runs off and he goes and he gets her and he saves her. And there's that whole scene with Tig where, like, she drops him off on the roof of the Olympus building. And you didn't watch that part? Yeah. And he's like, wait for us. And then he goes down and he, like, gets the daughter who has since found the ladies, and they defeat the bad cop guy and they defeat the bad
wait, the bad
vampire
cop
guy.
I mean, the guy that
from
they
the very
turned.
beginning.
I knew that he would show up
definitely.
as a zombie.
Yeah.
But, like, dope makeup and everything.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I'm sure.
And and then they run up to the top of the building and she's gone. The helicopter's gone. But then they're like, what's that noise? It was awful. Yeah, it was awful. Right. It was so cheesy.
Sounds cheesy.
The blonde girl doesn't make it.
Oh.
She's the reason why they make it. She takes out the
sacrifice.
She takes off the zombie head and she's like, you want this? You want your queen? And the guy kills her. And then the helicopter takes off with the guy, the king, on the helicopter because he runs and he jumps on the helicopter. Yeah, it was utterly predictable from that point on. It was unfortunate. Like, it literally was. It was utterly predictable. Like, dude, helicopter wasn't there, then the helicopter, but just kidding. And then they have the little, like, standoff on top of the building, and then he runs and he jumps onto the helicopter, and then they're fighting on the helicopter, and then they get away as the nuke is coming in to blow up the city.
I mean, that's the thing too,
right? And so then it's like the whole, like, he bites him.
Who? Dave Bautista?
Gets bitten.
Oh, good Lord.
Everyone else dies in the crash, including all the people they saved.
Is Dave Bautista a zombie at the end?
Yes, and
he's out of Vegas?
They're out of Vegas, but it comes full circle. The daughter has to kill him because he killed the mother. Yeah.
Again,
it was,
dude, again, why are you mad that daddy killed zombie mom? Why?
Right.
Why?
Right.
Why?
Well,
I've seen a zombie movie. Everyone watching this movie has seen a zombie movie. No one cares about, like, why, dude?
Right, but she explains it. She says, I wasn't angry that you killed her.
because you didn't come around.
It's because you didn't come around. You weren't there afterwards. Like, who cares? It's not the movie I want to watch.
Yeah, and it's like this is like too much going on in that movie, dude. It's like, is it a zombie movie or is it a fucking heist movie? Like, pick one.
Right.
Like, mixing heist with another genre doesn't work. Like,
yeah.
Again, this is a ridiculous example, but and I want to see this movie, dude. You remember that movie that came out? It's called Hurricane Heist.
Wait, what is that? Did I see it?
Dude, it's like a fucking massive hurricane. I doubt you saw it. Nobody talked about it. It came out in theaters. But it's like this massive hurricane. So these bank robbers take advantage of the fact that everyone's under goddamn cover. And like, that sounds cool.
Right.
But I don't think it worked.
Yeah.
And I don't think heists and zombies work either.
Yeah.
You just keep piling shit on. It's like, I'm already invested. And then the girl shows up with her problem with the coyote going in.
You're totally right. It was like too much compiled. Like that's what I'm saying. It would have been a cool like series.
Yeah. Because
then you could have explored different angles and still had this whole situation going on. I think it would have worked that way. But outside of that, a lot of it needed to be cut.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I had so much fun watching it, though. I liked it. Like I said, it got dragged out and mundane at the end, but I did enjoy watching it.
Yeah. And it was just cool because they came up with something that was just cool, like how the king was the only one who could turn them into the super zombies.
Right.
Like, that's pretty interesting.
And so the king was obviously the one in the tank in the very beginning, right? He's the one that escaped.
Was he the...
I think he was the military experiment.
Or the... Yeah, probably.
I
was going to say maybe the first one the first army guy who got bit, but probably
no. I think he's the original one,
right.
Which would make sense because if he was the one that they were experimenting
exactly,
on, then he's the one who can
pass on whatever the hell.
Yeah.
The
zombies reminded me so much of the vampires in 30 Days a Night, which, in my opinion, is the creepiest like rendition of vampires ever. Dude,
I can't watch that movie because of like one actor.
Who?
There's just an actor in it that I just don't like, and I hate. I just don't like him at all.
Who? Which one? The creepy one in the prison?
He's an older guy. He's in the Wolverine Origins movie.
I don't think I know who you're talking about.
And it's like, I've never watched it. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's probably just like a personal thing. But
it's just the vampires in that movie are like phenomenal.
Really?
I mean, phenomenal. Wait, have you seen it?
No.
You haven't seen it?
I have no interest.
Oh.
I don't really like vampires either.
Oh, but I feel like you would like this movie.
Yeah. I'm down to check it out. Yeah.
I really think you would. Just because of the take of the vampires. I mean, they're fucking amazing.
It's really cold too, right?
Yeah.
Cold horror.
I mean, it doesn't really matter.
What are you trying to be, the thing here?
No,
what are we doing here?
No, but it works.
What are we doing?
The movie works. It works.
What are we doing here? Vampires drink blood, dude. They like it to be warm.
Yeah, and the people are warm.
For how long?
Well, they
give me a brief plot description. What's this movie about?
So,
like, what's the deal? Why is it cold?
Because they're in
Alaska, Antarctica.
Yes, Alaska. I actually have no idea. It's up north, way up north, and that's the whole thing. Is the 30 Days of Night? Is that it's?
Oh yeah.
It's nighttime.
Yeah.
The sun goes away. It's whatever. So
it's pitch black.
Exactly.
Okay.
So then they can just
feed,
frolic.
Damn.
Right? It's a great premise.
But there must be, like, why are they in Antarctica? You can't get very far if you're a vampire and you're in Antarctica. They
come on a boat.
The vampires come on a boat?
Yes. Like, and there's this wicked creepy guy who, like, basically, like, tells them what's coming, but, like, they don't know. But he's, like, desperate to, like, be one of them. It's very weird.
Yeah, he wants to be a zombie.
Vampire. It's very weird. So it's just like the town is just like ravaged by these people, but they're very animal-like. Like that's like they're not like like.
Yeah, I'm more interested in animal-like zombies.
Yeah, like they're not vampires, but they're very. I mean, that's what I mean. They make like those creepy noises. They have like really creepy teeth, like not just your pointy teeth, not just your vampire teeth. Like there's nothing like refined about them. They're not, you know how like there's lots of like, you know, vampires are kind of like sexy and stuff like that, but like there's like nothing sexy about these guys. They are brutal.
Okay.
Brutal.
Right.
And they're wicked creepy, and they like speak in their own like weird language, and they make those noises.
So they
and
come
they like
from
stalk
elsewhere?
you. Yes.
Weird. I guess I do have to watch it.
Yes, it's so crazy. And then like the end just gets like completely insane with just like carnage, and like it's awesome.
All right. You've intrigued me.
And then the end is like depressing. Like it's great. Like there's no fucking happy ending.
All right. Good,
it's awesome.
Good. I want to watch it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the next recording.
Oh yeah, what?
It's this book right here. But that's your copy.
Oh.
Unless you don't want to read it.
Let me see.
It's the not sci-fi one.
Oh yeah, that's right. No, I do want to read it.
Okay. So the only reason I bring it up is because I'm curious about the movies. Just because why not discuss it on the podcast?
Yeah.
So part of me, because that's about World War II, right?
Glide Path.
It's about World War II.
Yeah.
Because it's about, I want to do 2 World War II sci-fi movies.
Ooh.
But remember we discussed also, because that's not sci-fi and it's about people building something, engineers building something, we were going to do the White Diamond.
Okay, so wait, Glide Path is not sci-fi?
Nope.
There's no sci-fi in it.
Nope.
Really?
There is a moment that I told you about when I read it, because it's one of the most incredible moments in any Arthur C. Clarke book, that is, you know, the people in the story are encountering something that today is normal, but then was not normal.
Oh, cool. Okay, don't tell me I don't remember.
So
okay.
that's the only like amazing, awe-inspiring moment.
Okay.
It's based on Clarke's actual time in the RAF.
Oh, nice.
So it's not a bad novel. You know, it's better than Dolphin Island, but you know, not nearly as good as like The Deep Range.
Is it better than Earthlight? Am I going to like it better than Earthlight? Because so far Earthlight's the one that I didn't really care for.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like a normal book.
Yeah?
I don't really know what else to
right.
say.
We'll see.
Yeah. So listen to these. I have sci-fi World War II movies.
Interesting.
Okay. Do you remember that movie Overlord?
Yes.
And the thing was that it's produced by J.J. Abrams. And when you saw the trailer, it was like, I could see J.J. Abrams stamp somewhere in this.
Yeah.
So that's like horror. But I think there's like zombies in it or something.
Yeah.
But it's during World War II.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
So I would be down to watch that. I've always wanted. That movie looks dope.
Right. Every time I saw it, I wanted to see it.
And there's also one that I saw advertised, I think like, I don't know, recently, like last year or something. I can't remember the title.
Yeah.
But the premise is so fucking cool. And it's Chloe Grace Moretz. And she's like, it's World War II. And she's like the gunner part of an airplane.
Yeah.
And there's like a pilot.
Yeah.
It's something in the clouds. And I think the story is that she's on a top secret mission. And the pilot isn't supposed to know. So it's like she's like, your job is just to fly. Don't pay attention to what I'm doing back here. You just fly where you're supposed to be flying.
Yeah.
I have a job to do back here. It's top secret. You don't need to know.
Huh.
What she's doing is she's like shooting monsters out of the fucking sky during World War II.
Seriously?
That's what the trailer seems to say.
Oh, my Lord.
It looks sick, dude. And it got good reviews.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you don't know what
but
it's
I think
called?
it came out during COVID, so it's like, here, I'll tell you right now.
That's wild. I vaguely remember it being advertised. Like, there's something about it, about you describing it, that is familiar to me.
I'm telling you, it's something in the clouds.
Yeah.
I know that's coming. Something begins with C in the clouds.
Castle in the Clouds?
Shadow in the cloud.
Shadow in the Cloud.
2020, baby.
Nice.
An absolute blast. Action horror film.
There we go.
Screenplay by Max Landis?
Who's that?
Oh, I was thinking
know
of.
who that is?
No, I was thinking of
Who that is?
the other Landis. He's like a director.
Oh.
Maybe it's his kid.
Maybe they're related.
Yep, parents, John Landis.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, John. He's a director. He's Animal House, Blues Brothers, American Werewolf in London,
Oh, that's so
Trading
funny.
Places, Three Amigos, Coming to America, Beverly Hills. Jesus, this guy's the man. He directed Thriller.
Oh, my Lord.
But anyway, yeah, Shadow in the Cloud.
That's
August
awesome.
1943, female flight officer is assigned to travel with top secret documents from Auckland, New Zealand to Samoa.
Ooh.
That's not even really, well, the Pacific. And then it says, however, as soon as she arrives at the airbase, she witnesses a ground crew ramper inexplicably disappear before her eyes, just before suddenly finding herself standing right in front of her transport, a B-17 bomber, Christian the Fool's Errand.
Ooh.
The bomber's crew gives her a mostly derisive welcome, and she is quartered in the Sperry for takeoff. With no room left for her document bag, she reluctantly allows only crew member friendly to her, Walter Quaid, to store it. It sounds like tension, dude.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I bet the whole movie is the one flight.
Oh, yeah. I hope we're not utterly let down. I have such a hard time sometimes, like, deciding on what movie to watch because I just desperately don't want to be let down.
78% on Rotten Tomatoes. Think about how ridiculous of a premise that is, and it has a 78%. It's better than Code 46, which has a 71.
I wasn't let down by that movie.
Ready for this?
What?
I wasn't either. One reviewer says that the film is, quote, a sincere but silly mashup of World War II dogfights, gremlin chaos, and feminism in action.
Okay, sign me up.
Right?
Yes.
And, like, you haven't seen the trailer, so, like, everything, like, what I'm telling you about the fact that I think that it's about a monster comes from the fact that I saw the trailer and I saw the monster. So you don't even have that in your head.
Well, like, I'm vaguely getting, like, I feel like I might have seen something, like, on social media or something.
And the only reason I
it.
know about it is because it was advertised to me. I did not go seeking, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I saw it somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
Like, a lot.
Well, it sounds like a good one.
Yeah, so we should totally do that.
So what is it, Shadow in the Cloud?
Yes, that is the title, Shadow in the Cloud.
And what was the other one? Oh, Overlord. Yeah.
If I had to pick one, if we end up going with one, I would go with Shadow in the Cloud, personally.
Yeah, sounds good.
But I think we have 2 weeks, right? Because we can't record for 2 weeks.
Correct.
I'm taking a much-needed break, dude. Don't you fucking let me read a book.
Don't do it.
So the next episode is, pretty sure it's, I literally don't know. Hold on.
I always give you so much credit for keeping this stuff straight, but
well, this isn't like a book. This is going to come after Tales of 10 Worlds. So what comes after Tales of 10 Worlds is Dolphin Island. Okay.
Nice.
So the next episode is going to be about Dolphin Island.
Looking forward to that one.
Yes. It was that's going to be fun. My mother is the guest, which is
so
like
excited.
Pretty funny because she does not like science fiction.
Yeah.
And that's all. After Dolphin Island, we have Glide Path. And then we're really gonna. Okay, then the podcast starts. Okay? Then we begin.
This has all been practice.
I'm gonna edit. I'm gonna do a supercut of every single episode so far. Edit it into one 30-hour episode. And that'll be episode 1.
There you go.
No, that'll be the prelude. And then
Nice.
episode 1 will be 2001.
I love it.
So 2001 is coming at you in 3 weeks.
Nice.
Hopefully I don't put a bonus episode in between there. But then, aren't you so excited, my listeners? You get to hear 2 more people talk about this thing that's been talked about by a million different fucking people for 80 years. Just another person heaping praise on the best sci-fi movie ever made.
Right. But that's awesome. When you love something,
yeah,
you just want to hear about it,
more
talk about it.
even more exciting. And no one who's listening to this is going to know what this means, so I'll say it.
What?
We're also going to be watching 2001: A Ghost's Odyssey.
What is that?
I told you and Mallory about it in the beginning of this project, and
Yeah.
I'll tell you about it later when it happens.
Okay.
All right, so that's it. Thank you for listening. This was kind of a bonus episode. You're cool if you made it this far. You should go check out Army of the Dead, even though you probably already have, because it's free and it's on Netflix, and everyone loves zombies. So, are there any catchphrases from that movie? Oh, listen, Amy.
What?
Don't you want to know about the plan?
No.
Why not?
Because I presume it has something to do with helicopters.
Exactly.
Thank you for joining us for today's episode of The Space Dreamers, a Sue Madre production. See you next time.